This is the one. This is the video that will settle the age-old debate that's been galvanizing gamers since the day the guy who invented the nuclear bomb first thought, well, this is great, but what if there was a controller? And that debate is, of course, what's a better gaming device? A console or a different console? What's that? A PC? That machine I used to learn that William Higginbotham not only helped invent the first nuclear bomb, but also the very first video game system so that I could sound smart in this video intro? You want me to play a video game on that? I guess I do like telling certain segments of gamers that they aren't real gamers. But on the other hand, I like insisting that consoles are way better than PCs as a way to hide the fact that I don't understand PC specs at all. GTX 70, what color does the game box have to be? So consoles are the way I prefer to play video games, and in this video I'm going to give you 3 reasons why. Now if you're a PC gamer, stick around. You may learn why some people actually prefer the generally lower powered gaming systems with a more restrictive selection of video games. And if you're a console gamer, also stick around too. You may learn how to navigate difficult conversations at parties with PC gamers.
I understand your preference for graphical fidelity, I really do, but have you considered what color of box to use? I can tell by the confused look on your face that you have not. Well, let me explain. See, depending on what color of box the game comes in, that tells you what system that game will actually go into. Yeah, I agree. The coolest parties are ones where there's books all along the walls. Yeah.
Before I go any further, consider subscribing to this channel. I make videos about video games, including reviews and humorous skits, and sometimes opinion pieces like this very video. First, I do not hate PCs. I use PCs all the time. In fact, I used a PC to edit the glorious specimen of video perfection that you are watching right now. Thanks to a PC, you haven't had to endure blunders, errors, coughs, and sneezes like these. No. That was not my poop. PCs are great. That's right, you didn't have to waste your time watching that garbage because PCs are great. Ah, crap. Can you edit out that PCs are great line and add that to the blooper reel? Oh, you did already. That was fast. What, do you got like a 10th gen i9 core processor running in there? Nice. What color box did it come in? Before I go any further, please understand that I love video games, period. And I love the breadth of choice that gamers have. PC gaming is great, console gaming is great. Despite my preference for console gaming, I actually do game on my PC sometimes, mostly low-spec itch.io games and the like, because my PC doesn't even meet minimum settings for most games. I should also acknowledge that I'm ignorant to a lot of PC gaming culture, so I will probably get some things wrong about PC gaming. Feel free to correct me in the comments below if I do get anything wrong. Reason number 1 that I like console gaming more. Consoles respect dummies like me. I'll start with the box color thing, though I joked about it earlier. The box color does allude to the simplicity that I love with console gaming over PC gaming. Specs intimidate me. I don't like wondering if my PC is strong enough to handle the newest big budget AAA game. At least this simplicity is how things usually go. This whole debacle with Cyberpunk 2077 not working on PS4 and Xbox One consoles runs contrary to the promise made by consoles, which is why console gamers are particularly upset by the launch of Cyberpunk 2077. We're not mad that we don't have ray tracing or 4K visuals or 60 frames per second across the board across all consoles. We knew we weren't getting those things. Those are things that most console gamers really aren't that concerned with. If we were, we would be PC gamers. We're mad because the game doesn't work on the systems it was promised to work on. The game crashes or completely fails to load at a rate much higher than acceptable, which is why the game has now been pulled from the PlayStation Store and you can get refunds on the Xbox Store if you want. Console gamers aren't interested in switching out components to maximize game performance. We want simplicity, and with that simplicity should come consistency. But with Cyberpunk 2077, the blue box doesn't work in the blue box machine. The green box doesn't work in the green box machine. The thing that console gamers love, the thing console platformer holders have promised us, has been stripped away from us with Cyberpunk 2077. The trade-off for simplicity is flexibility. Consoles aren't able to easily upgrade individual parts. The experience cannot be reliably tailored to what I want out of games, and that's a trade-off I'm okay with. Reason number 2. Console gaming is less expensive. Now, I know it's a dangerous statement to make, which is why I'm going to focus my thoughts on the cost around the system, not the cost of games. Because game sales happen on both PC and console platforms all the time, with discounts ranging from insultingly bad to free. Both PCs and consoles have great game sales and terrible game sales. To try and quantify one marketplace as better than the other is impossible. On a long enough timeline, the costs are probably pretty equal. But sticking with games for a moment longer, it can also be argued that PCs have a larger selection of games, even given the backwards compatibility of current generation consoles, and that's absolutely true. However, every platform has so many games that gamers are never at a lack of options from a practical perspective. In other words, the difference between a library of thousands of games versus tens of thousands is effectively not a difference at all, given that humans, fun fact, don't live forever. And I'm sorry if that's news to you. Like, really sorry. That would be awful if this was the first time you were hearing that you're gonna die someday. But I do feel it's safe to say that the system cost for consoles is generally much less expensive than the system cost for PCs. Now, this is less true, of course, when you factor in the graphical fidelity qualifier mentioned in reason number 1. With PCs, you'll pay a higher price for higher performance, but given that console gamers aren't primarily motivated by graphical fidelity and speed, a lower tier PC is more comparable to what console gamers might want. Through that lens, the cost between PCs and consoles are admittedly probably pretty much the same. I have to super duper stress here because I fear there's going to be some people who misunderstand me. If you are wanting a graphical powerhouse, yes, PCs are going to be considerably more expensive. But again, if you prefer console gaming, you've already dismissed super high fidelity graphics as something that isn't really that interesting to you to begin with, so it's not even part of the conversation. This isn't to say that console games don't look great. They absolutely do. For sure. All of this being accounted for, though, I am giving consoles the pricing edge because of the forced limitations with not having the ability to upgrade individual components. Because console components cannot be upgraded, there's no temptation to do so, meaning the likelihood of additional system costs mid-generation is essentially null. Of course, the choice to upgrade PC components is an individual choice. Nobody is forcing an increased PC cost, but just having the choice and therefore the temptation available to spend more money for higher performance is a cost risk that consoles simply don't have. It's the same as putting a bowl of candy on the kitchen counter. You can choose to partake or not, but without a doubt, having the option is more a danger to your health than not having the option. The potential to spend more money on a gaming system is much higher with PCs. Consoles have been playing with mid-generation refreshes over the last generation, but given that's an all-in purchase, not a component upgrade, I'm not considering those. Also, I personally think they're really dumb. I know that's not really a scientific perspective, but this is my list, so boo. Reason number 3 that I like console gaming more than PC gaming: form factor differences. Now, this will probably be the messiest justification for preferring console gaming over PC gaming, as it's not subject to measurable specs and costs, so get your angry commenting fingers ready and get your nice, helpful correction fingers ready. I prefer that you use the latter fingers, but you are free to use any fingers you want, which is a phrase I promise you didn't anticipate hearing in this video. The design ethos of the PC is built around the desk. A desk chair, a flat surface for your keyboard and mouse, a monitor just a couple feet from your face. Conversely, the design ethos of the console is built around the living room. A comfortable chair or couch, a controller resting on your lap, a TV on the wall across the room. I simply prefer the lazy comfort more common with console gaming. I like losing sun chip crumbs in my shirt instead of my lap. I imagine I could connect a PC to my wall-mounted TV and play games on the PC using only a controller and therefore be able to approximate the traditional console setup, but I feel like that's just too much work. Remember, reason number 1, I like simplicity. Also, if I do all of that, I'll need to buy a second computer. unless I want to work on spreadsheets while reclining in a living room chair with sunchip crumbs all over my chest. Holy crap, I take all of this back. PC gaming is the best. So while I prefer console gaming, I want to reiterate that I love video games, period. I love that gamers have options. I love that PC gaming exists. I love that console gaming exists. I even love that mobile gaming exists. Video games are great, no matter how you play them, as long as you aren't playing them on a mobile device. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to make sure you don't miss future videos. If you're still watching this video, you obviously like it, right? You got something beneficial out of it, so it only makes sense to subscribe. Give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below. All of those things make me very happy. And that's your mission in life, is to make me very happy, right?